Hey, I wanted to share with you a really valuable way to get medical records, as many as you want, could be thousands of medical records for $6.50. Really simple. No one's doing it except for one company. Here's the way it works. In 2000, going back to Obama's presidency, he issued a mandate that every hospital and doctor that gets Medicaid and Medicare reimbursement must have electronic medical records. So that's where it all began. In 2009, the HITECH Act stated that patients can ask for records in an electronic format only, no paper copies, and they can get the records in the format of their choice electronically. So whether that's a PDF, a patient portal, you name it. In 2016, the Department of Health and Human Services issued a guidance that was really fantastic because the guidance stated that not only are patients allowed to get electronic medical records, and the fee that is charged is $6.50. That is the cost or the fee that hospitals can charge for the electronic medical records. There's other calculations, but rarely are the others ever used. So generally it's $6.50. But in 2016, the Department of Health and Human Services issued a phenomenal guidance ruling that stated that not only the patients can get the records for $6.50, but their designated agents or representatives can also get the same records at the same rate, $6.50. That's fantastic. In the last 3 or 4 years, everything has been wonderful because my firm gets thousands of records for $6.50. I could see a record of somebody who's paralyzed for the last year. It could be a paper copy, could be this big, and yet $6.50. Unfortunately, in January of this year, 2020, there was a federal court decision, a lower court in Washington, D.C., on January 23rd that stated that due to procedural and substantive issues, that attorneys, law firms, and the patient's third-party representatives no longer can take advantage of the patient's rate. So the $6.50 only applies to requests for medical records made by the patient and not their third-party representative or law firm. So since that time, we have been totally screwed. And companies like Ciox and MRO are sending us requests, bills, invoices for thousands of dollars for medical records. And what they do is they receive the records in electronic format from the hospital, and then they click a button, they print it out in paper copy, and then they send a bill for $3,000. And it just makes absolutely no sense. So here's the solution. I've researched all the medical record retrieval companies in the marketplace, and they all stink. And the reason why I say that, with one exception, is because they don't differentiate between paper records and electronic records. They'll accept records in any format. And that really stinks because that means that we can't take advantage of the HITECH Act, and we're going to get monstrous bills for medical records. And if the hospital can determine how these records will be provided, they're going to pass that charge on to us, and we're going to be paying thousands. Here's the solution. There's a company called Chart Squad. Their owners are in Utah. They are passionate. Chris Carpenter and Melanie Carpenter are passionate supporters of civil justice. And what I can tell you is they will not accept medical records in paper format. The process that they use is that they will have the client will sign an authorization that will direct the medical records to be sent only in electronic format into a patient portal. The records are then in the portal, and then the patient can share access to the records in the portal with their attorney, with their physicians, and with their permission, we can share the records with anyone that we choose, including expert witnesses. So now we've got all the records in one place. Why does this work? Because the request is not coming from a law firm. The request for medical records is coming from the patient. And as part of this portal, Chart Squad does not even list the attorney or the law firm so the entity receiving the request only knows that it's a request made directly by a patient. And that's critical because the cap on fees applies only to patient requests. It does not apply, at least under the current state of the law, to requests made by lawyers or third-party representatives. This is an absolute game changer. I hired Chart Squad. I've spoken with Chris Carpenter, their president, as well as his wife, Melanie. She was on a Zoom video conference yesterday, and I was blown away by everything that they do. The process is exactly the way that I would do it if I was setting up a company to get electronic medical records. This is going to save us an absolute fortune. And so, and also, one of the nice members of Maximum Lawyer gave us a referral code, which gave us a $250 credit on our account. And I think that he also got a $250 credit. So I want to thank him for that. I have to tell you, all the reviews I've seen online about Chart Squad have been overwhelmingly positive. I think this is something every plaintiff's lawyer should be doing. All the other companies, frankly, in my opinion, they stink. Because why aren't they doing it all this way? I frankly don't think that they care. They don't care whether it's paper or electronic. As long as they get paid and they debit your credit card, that's all that matters to them. But Chart Squad is different. Everything's electronic, and you pass along all these savings. Just think to your clients, just think how much you spend, your staff spends every day getting medical records. With Chart Squad, that's no longer an issue. Think of all the bills that you get now for paper copies of records. No longer an issue with Chart Squad. Everything's electronic. This is a wonderful solution. And if you have any questions, call me directly on my cell. I'd be happy to ask questions. But more importantly, call Chris Carpenter and talk to him about Chart Squad, because I could not be more pleased with what I've seen. My direct number is 518-265-9131. Please feel free to give me a call. And if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel. There's a little bell notification. You'll get notified whenever we do a video. We do them every single day. And leave a comment. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If you disagree or agree, it doesn't matter. And I will respond to your comments. I appreciate that. And have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.